Again, if you're logging on here and you haven't met me, my name is Bree. This is a 45-minute class, and so you can modify or do different variations as you wish. The best advice I can give you for the practice of yoga is that you are your innermost guide. I am kind of second to that, guiding you through a practice. So listen to your body and do different variations that seem fitting for you as we move along. All right, let's take a moment to center in. Find yourself in a seat. If you feel yourself rounding, you can see I'm kind of rocking a little bit side to side, and I'm pulling the flesh of my butt back into space so that I can sit more in front of my sit bones. Bring your hands down on your lap, and if it feels comfortable for you, close your eyelids down. Otherwise, just let your vision blur on the earth. And take a moment to just arrive here on your mat. I'm sure many of you are coming straight out of the workday, or maybe you're waking up and just this is your first kind of intentional moment in the day. So use your breath here to really awaken your body. Notice where you're moving the breath in the body. Work to breathe the breath into the lungs three-dimensionally. So not only are you breathing into the chest and into the belly, but you're also breathing to the sides and to the back of the body. Take a few more breaths to really ground down into this space. On your next exhale, open your mouth, and like you were to fog up a mirror, HA, let it go. Inhale through your nose. Open up and cleanse it out like you're fogging up the mirror, HA. Inhale fully. Open mouth, HA. Notice the constriction in the back of the throat. Keep that constriction. Inhale through your nose. Keep your mouth closed. Exhale through the nose. Creating Ujjayi breath. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the nose. 3 more cycles like that. Work to keep the breath even, as well as lengthened through both the inhales and the exhales. When you breathe with Ujjayi breath, your breath will have an audible sound to it. Let go of breath that's in your lungs. Open mouth one more time, HA. Inhale through your nose for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold the breath, retention of the inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Pause, hold your breath for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now we'll pulse the opposite. Inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Squeeze all the breath out. Hold empty. No breath. Retention of the exhale for 2, 3, 4. Inhale, fill it up for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Squeeze all the breath out and hold. Empty, no breath for 2, 3, 4. Last cycle. Inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold the breath out. Empty for 4, 3, 2, 1. Heavy your pelvis down. Inhale, circle sweep. Reach your arms high. Exhale, bring your palms to heart center. Anjali Mudra, a gesture of offering, of deep reverence. Take a soft bow, forehead towards fingertips, just acknowledging yourself for showing up, for being here on your mat today. Inhale, circle sweep, reach your arms high. Exhale, send your left arm towards the left and reach your right arm way in line with your ear. Seated spinal movements. Heavy your pelvis down. Inhale and rise back through center. Exhale, side bend the other way. Reach nice and long with your left arm. Heavy down into your left sit bone. Inhale and rise back through center. Exhale, side bend. So we're moving laterally here. Stay in the side bend. Inhale, cactus your upper arm back, lean back. Exhale, round elbow towards opposite knee. Close the gap. Inhale, open up and lean it way back. Exhale, round elbow towards opposite knee. Straighten out through your right arm. Heavy your pelvis down and rise through center. Take that side bend the other way. Heavy down through the left sit bone and inhale, cactus your left arm back. Pull both shoulders back. Exhale, round elbow towards opposite knee. Inhale, open up and lean it back. Exhale, round elbow to opposite knee. Straighten out through your left arm. Inhale, rise through center. Bring your arms to a cactus shape. Inhale. Exhale, twist towards the left. Active range of motion. Inhale, come back through center. Exhale, twist towards the right. Inhale, back through center. Exhale, take it to the left. Inhale through center. Exhale to the right. Inhale, come back through center. Exhale, twist towards the left. Ground the right hand on your knee, left hand fingertips to the earth. Lengthen long through your spine. Pull your left shoulder back as you twist. Gaze over your left shoulder. Take a breath in and breathe deep down into the lower right side of the back body. On your exhale, twist a notch deeper. Stay for 2 more breaths here. On an inhale, come back through center. Bring your arms back to a cactus shape. Exhale, twist towards the right. Bring your left hand to the knee, right hand to the earth. Lengthen long through the side body. And exhale, find more rotation through your spine as you twist. Gaze over your right shoulder and look more through the left eye. That's where you want to twist from. So you're actually in twist, you're twisting from the opposite side of the body. So right now we're twisting towards the right. Can you breathe more breath into the lower left side of the body as you rotate around yourself? Inhale, come back through center, bring your arms to that cactus shape. Bring your hands to a prayer, Anjali Mudra. Keep the pinky side of your hands touching. Open your hands like a book. Push Panjali Mudra. So it's another version of Anjali. It's just a big offering symbol. Take a moment to just notice what you have to offer out into the world. Connect your hands back at a prayer, soft bow, forehead towards fingertips. Lift your skull and make your way to a tabletop position. in your tabletop. Spread nice and wide through your fingers and pull back through your fingertips so you can really firmly kind of grab the ground with your hands. I will be doing a lot of stuff on my fingertips, so you can always play with that too if that seems interesting. Move through spinal extension and flexion. Inhale, tilt your sit bones to the sky, melt through the heart, wrap your triceps in by the rib cage, cow. Excuse me. Press your hands and your knees into the mat. Round, puff up into the back body, cat spine. Inhale, vertebra by vertebra, shift your sit bones to the sky as you melt through your heart, cow. Broaden through the collarbones. Again, press your foundation into the mat as you round, lift all the organs up and in, cat spine. Last one like that. Inhale, shift, melt through the heart, cow. And exhale, round, deep and full into a nice cat spine. Come to a more neutral position and start to open up through your left hip, straighten out through your left leg. So you ground your left foot on the mat, or not on the mat, but on the earth, and your foot is roughly lining up with your right knee. Okay, from here, shift your hips back a little bit. Check, take a peek over at that left foot and see that all four corners of your foot are grounded. So even the pinky toe side of your foot is grounded on the earth. Pull energy up from the earth through that foot in the seam of the legs and into the pelvis. So really feel that left inner thigh start to wake up and engage. Start to drag your right hand fingertips over towards the right. Reach your left arm to the sky. Modified side plank pose. From the left hip, stretch down and out through your left leg and pull your right shoulder back into space. From the right collarbone, stretch down and out through your right arm into the earth. You could reach your left arm way in line with your ear as well. I'm kind of limited with space, but that's an option for you. Now lift your left leg up, bend your left knee, and grab for your foot a little thigh stretch. And breathe. Slowly release your foot. Come up to a gate pose. So that foot's back on the earth. You're balancing on your right knee and your left foot. Bring the left arm down the left leg. Reach your right arm way in line with your ear for a nice side body stretch. Inhale, start to take it back. Lean back. And exhale, curl it in. Bring your right arm to tap your left shin. Inhale, open up and lean it back. And exhale, round and tap. Begin to slide your hands all the way back through, landing in a tabletop position. Pull your left knee in. Second side, and I'll pivot so you guys can see a little bit better. Inhale and open up through that right hip. Straighten out through your right leg. Ground the foot on the mat. And just kind of checking in, seeing that your foot and your knee roughly line up with each other. Spread nice and wide through your toes as you tug your foot in towards the midline. Send your hips back just a touch. And breathe. The real star of the show has came in. My cat with his forever cone. Hi, buddy. All right. Now, start to slide your left arm over towards the left. Reach your right arm high to the sky. Side plank or modified side plank variation. Pull both of your shoulders back, especially that left shoulder, and your skull is going to follow. From your right hip, stretch down and out through the right leg, and maybe you reach your upper arm way in line with your ear, so intensifying that side body stretch. From here, bend, lift your leg, bend your knee, and grab for your foot for a little thigh stretch. If you've taken my classes before, you may notice that it's pretty rare that we miss out on a thigh stretch. They are so good for you, especially if those of you that kind of deal with a little bit of a grumpiness in your low back. Try stretching your thighs more. See if it helps and report back. Take one more breath here. Actively kick your foot into the hand as you pull navel towards spine. And release your foot. Ground your foot, come up through a gate pose. Bring the right arm down the right leg. Reach your left arm way in line with your ear. Nice side body bend. Inhale, cactus your upper arm back. Lean it back. And exhale, curled in. Bring your hand to the opposite leg. One more. Inhale, open up and lean back. And exhale, round. From here, slide your hands down to the mat and meet back in a tabletop position. From tabletop, shift your hips back to a child's pose. Toes together, knees wide, forehead to the mat. Get really active in this child's pose. So it's not as much of a passive pose for this moment. Press your hands into the mat nice and strong. Really wake up the breath by breathing more into the back body. Begin to weave your right arm through the left. Find a little shoulder stretch. Press your left palm into the mat. Come back through center, second side. Weave your left arm through the right. Find that shoulder stretch. Come back through center. Ground your forearms on the mat and come up to a forearm tabletop. In your forearm tabletop, round through the spine, puff up into the back body, cat spine. Now slow and control, vertebra by vertebra, tilt your sit bones up towards the sky, shrug your shoulders up by the ears as you melt through your heart space. Press your shoulder blades onto the back of the ribs. And round, puff up into the back body, cat spine. One more like that. Inhale, vertebra by vertebra, make your way all the way to a cow spine. Pause. See if you can melt a little bit more. Keep engaged through the low belly as you open up through your upper back. Find a neutral position through your spine. Walk your knees back until you land in a Sphinx pose. Heavy your pelvis and press the tops of the legs into the mat, especially like your thighs and your toes. So the tops and the bottom of the legs. Pull your belly up and away from the floor so your pelvis is heavy here. Bend your left knee, reach around with your left hand to grab your foot. So for some of you that maybe didn't get the last thigh stretch, this one can feel a little more accessible. You're not in a balancing posture. You don't have to reach around and go into as deep of a back bend. If it still feels a little bit limited, you can always come down onto your chest, especially if it feels like a little tight in your back, to stay up in spinal extension. And release your foot. Second side, pull your right heel in, reach around with your right hand to grab for your foot. And you'll want to find the push-pull, so actively kick your foot into your hand as you pull the heel towards the outer hip. And breathe. Leo, move. And now we have the extra star of the show, my dog, coming into play. Slowly release. All right, a little bit of core. So keep your forearms on the mat. When you're doing this core exercise, you do not want your shoulders to move away from stacking above the elbows. So keep an eye on that. Press your forearms into the mat, round through your spine. Puff up into the back of the body, and again, keep those shoulders stacked just above your elbows. So kind of like a cat spine. Exhale, slowly release your hips down, pull the heart through. Now move your breath. Inhale, puff up into the back body. Lift. Tuck the tailbone. Exhale, release your hips down, pull the heart through. Inhale again, lift up, puff up into that back body. Tug your elbows and your knees towards one another, finding a core connection here. Exhale, release, lower your hips down. Two more like that. Inhale, lift up. Puff up into the back body. Left elbow is tugging towards right knee. Right elbow tugs towards left knee. Exhale, lower down. Last one. Inhale, lift up. Now this time we're going to stay upright, so find your breath. Keep tugging everything in. Lengthen through the sides of your neck. Breathe. For 3, 2, 1, release your hips down, soften your chest down, bring your arms to a cactus shape or goalpost. So the elbows are 90 degrees and your elbow and your shoulder line up with one another. begin to walk your right hand fingertips in towards your face and then pivot to the outside edge of your left hip. As those right hand fingertips come in, you'll send your right elbow towards the ceiling and pull your right shoulder back. Now, your right leg could do a couple of things. You could just stay with your legs straight and stretch through the chest, or you can bend your right knee and plant your right foot on the earth behind you. Keep working your breath. Breathe into the front of the body. And slowly come back towards center. Second side, line up your opposite elbow and pivot to the outside edge of your right hip. Again, you want to plug that left shoulder bone in and crawl your left hand fingertips closer towards you. The reason that you're pulling those fingertips in is because it will naturally help you pull the shoulder in. But it doesn't have to be that way, okay? And breathe. Come all the way back through center. Let's find some back bends. Bring your hands to the mat. Press the tops of the feet down. Inhale and rise up to a little floating cobra. So float your hands, squeeze your elbows in by the rib cage. Feel the strength in your back lifting you up. Exhale, lower down. 2 more like that. Inhale, rise up. Floating cobra. Glue your toenails down. Engage through the legs to get you a little bit higher. Exhale, release. This one you can keep your hands on the mat if you would like and press up to maybe a medium or a high cobra. Exhale, fold. Press your way up through a tabletop or a plank and come to downward facing dog. So it's going to be modified for me. I'm going to take dolphin pose, so my forearms will stay on the mat and I'm coming up. Okay, but it's pretty much the same thing as well. So think same shape. If you don't know what downward dog is, it's just your hands on the mat. Spread wide through your toes, your pinky toe and your ring finger toe. Bend your knees a little bit and send the tops of your thighs way up and back. And breathe. You're going to make your feet as wide as mat's distance apart and start to walk yourself back until your heels come all the way down to the ground. Once your heels ground, keep going. Send your hips so far back into space that it almost feels like you're going to fall backwards. Counter reach your fingertips forward. Keep a little bend in your knees. Now let's look at the foundation, the feet. What's on the earth is your foundation. Line up the outside edge of your feet with the long edge of the mat. So the toes are pointed in a little bit. You're slightly pigeon-toed. Bring your hips behind your heels. I'm saying that again because in my public classes, most of the time it could even be more so. Now squeeze your shins in to find stability. Widen your inner thighs back and apart, finding length. Inhale and halfway lift, glide your hands up your shins. Take any rounding out of the back. So the shoulders should be roughly in line with your hips. Exhale, fold. Again, inhale, halfway lift, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Press into the earth, inhale, circle sweep, reach your arms high. Exhale, bring your hands to heart center. Pivot your toes out and your heels in. So now, it's kind of the opposite. Your toes are out. We'll move through squats with a little bit of a twist. Inhale, circle sweep, reach your arms high. Exhale, twist towards the right. Squat down like you're picking up those fall leaves. Rise up. So you're kind of gliding your hands on the earth and undulating the spine as you rise. Keep engagement through your core as you move through these and your glutes as well. But let there be a lot of fluidity in your spine. We're building some heat here. Stay connected to your breath. For 3, 2, and 1. Land with your arms up high. Heel toe your feet back to hip distance apart. Urdhva Hastasana, upward salute. From the pelvis, reach down and out through your legs into the earth and long through the spine. grab your right wrist, take an inhale. Exhale, take a side bend up and over towards the left. Really tug on your wrist. Inhale, come back through center. Switch your clasp and take that side bend the other way. Inhale, come back through center. Exhale, cactus your arms and open up your heart. Inhale, pull navel to spine, lift through the back side of your waist. Exhale, twist, bring your left arm back and the right arm forward. Inhale, circle your hand down, come back through center. Exhale, rotate the other way. Inhale, come back through center and lengthen. Exhale, come through a little chair pose, sink your hips low, and bring your hips a little farther back into space. Pull the belly up and in, lengthen from the back of the heart all the way out through your arms. Wake up each and every fingertip. So no lazy hands. Take a breath in. Exhale, sink a little deeper. 2 more like that. Inhale. Exhale, let the gravity pull you down. 1 more. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Interlace your hands behind your back. Lift your shoulders up and drop your hands over the back body. Shake your head out, yes or no. And release your hands down. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen through your spine. Exhale, folds. Press down and out through the legs. Inhale, circle sweep, reach all the way up and high. Exhale, palms meet at heart center. Begin to widen your stance and quarter turn on your mat so you're facing the long edge of your mat. It doesn't matter which way. And make your stance wide. Come to what we call a starlight pose. How wide? Well, you want your wrist creases to roughly be lining up with your ankles. So that's going to be kind of the balance between stability and ease in most bodies. Look down at your feet, your foundation. See that the outside edge of your feet is lining up with the short edge of the mat. Spread through the toes. Take up space. And squeeze your legs towards one another. Feel engagement build in the inner thighs, just like we did in the beginning in our gate pose. From the pelvis, stretch down and out through the legs. Lengthen through the spine and stretch long through your arms. Inhale. And as you exhale, begin to hinge at your hips. I think it's best to bring your arms back into space. You could also bring your hands to a prayer. Hinge, hinge, hinge until you come all the way down. Your hands can rest on the earth. And we'll start by just taking a few side bends. Bend into your left knee and then bend into your right knee. And as you bend, send your hips back into space rather than the knee forward. And anatomically, that's how your body works. Your knee is going to go forward, but think about sending your hips down like you're taking a seat. Just pull side to side a few more times. Waking up through the inner thighs is really what we're focusing on today. Land back through a neutral, wide-legged stance. Inhale, reach your right arm high to the sky, rotation. Exhale, bring your right hand down. Inhale, reach your left arm high to the sky, rotation. Exhale, bring it down. Bring both hands towards the front of the mat. Spin both feet towards the front of the mat and find a straight front leg. You could, if you have blocks or a water bottle, place a block underneath your hands on the right side. Stay elevated off of your back heel and wrap your left hip forward. Press your right big toe mound down into the mat and pull back. Create a toning around the back of the leg, the hamstring. From the pelvis, stretch your energy out long through the legs into the earth. Stay long through the spine, or some of you may be interested in folding. Pull the right side of the belly up and away from your thigh. Inhale and bend into your front knee. You find a cow lunge. Pull the belly in, the chest through, and the palate back. Your back knee can be tapped on the earth or hovering. Exhale, straighten and fold. 1 more like that. Inhale, cow lunge. Exhale, straighten and fold, cat lunge. Inhale and halfway lift, lengthen through your spine. bend into your front knee and take a twist. Reach your right arm high to the sky. Pull both shoulders back into space. Inhale. Exhale, bring your right hand down to the inside edge of your front foot. Pivot your back heel down. Point your toes off at an angle. Now release your left arm high. Start to send your weight back into your left leg. And if you're on the other side, we're just going to literally do the other side after this. So just do it opposite. You're twisting towards your bent knee. Flex your front toes, which for me is my right toes, straight up towards the sky. Crouching tiger. And breathe. Pivot your toes in, find a wide-legged stance, fold. You can grab for your ankles and pull yourself towards your thighs. Bring both hands towards the back of the mat and spin both feet there. Straighten out through your left knee. Pull your left hip back as you wrap your right hip forward. Engage to the left side of your belly, pulling it up and away from the thigh. Come back to your Ujjayi breath, helping to really create focus and clarity throughout class. Inhale, bend into your front knee. Bring the back knee to a hover. Pull the belly in, the chest through, and the palate back. Exhale, straighten out through your front leg and fold. 2 more like that. Inhale, cow lunge. Exhale, straighten and folds, cat lunge. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale and halfway lift, lengthen. Bend into your front knee, twist, reach your left arm high to the sky, rotation. Bring the sides of the neck back and the throat back, really lean it back. Exhale, ground your left hand, pivot the back heel down, toes are pointing towards the right corner of the mat. Send your hips back, reach your right arm high to the sky. Stay with a little bit of a bend, not much of a bend at all, but a little micro bend in your left knee, especially if you know that you tend to hyperextend there in the joint. Breathe, point your left toes straight towards the ceiling. And pivot your left toes down, find a wide-legged stance. Inhale and halfway lift, lengthen through your spine. Turn your heels in and your toes out. Walk your hands up onto your knees. Engage with the navel. Squeeze those glutes. Inhale. And as you exhale, sink your hips down a little bit. Option to release your arms to a cactus shape. Now this one is going to get a little funky. We're going to add what's called lion's breath pranayama to this. Inhale. Maybe you lift the hips up a little bit, not fully coming out of the squat. Exhale, as you squat down, stick your tongue out and go, and the gaze will actually go up, or you can close your eyes. Inhale, lift the hips a little. And exhale, stick your tongue out, HA. Inhale, lift. Exhale, HA, stick the tongue out and go. Inhale, straighten out through your legs and your arms. Bring the hands now to your thighs. We're going to take it a little lower. Bring your heels in, maybe 2 inches. Sink your hips all the way back down. Bring your hands to the knees and then keep going. You're going to kind of have your hands on the inner edge of your thigh, or your shins, ankles. Use your arms, your elbows to kind of widen your thigh bones away from you. Squeeze those glutes and keep shifting your weight side to side as we open up through the inner thighs here. Breathe. Connect your hands at a prayer. Stretch down and out through the legs as you reach your arms high. Bring your heels out, your toes in. Step, or if you'd like, you can take a little hop back to Tadasana, mountain pose. Quarter turn towards the front of your mat. Inhale and reach your arms high. Exhale, come back down through chair pose. Sink your hips low. And keep going all the way down until you feel your hips touch the earth. As your hips ground, bring the soles of the feet together and your knees wide. Grab for your feet. Inhale. And as you exhale, option to either hinge and bring your heart forward, or you can just stay upright and practice sending your knees closer down towards the earth. One more here, progress. Just bring your feet about a foot further away. Grab for your ankles. Inhale. Exhale, let your elbows rest on the inner edge of your knees as you lead with your heart forward into space. Breathe. Inhale and come back up through center. Now, the final posture before we come to our Shavasana is full frog pose. So it's pretty intense. It's the first thing I'll say. But bend the sides of your mat in a little bit. And if you have props, it might be nice to have like a bolster or something, but you definitely don't need it. I'll use a block for demonstrating, even though I actually prefer a bolster. So once you have your mat folded in a little bit, if you have a really thin mat, I would say even double folding could be good. My mat's nice and thick though. Bring yourself to a tabletop, but like a wide tabletop. Okay, now pull your toes back towards your ankles and your toes are facing out wide. Okay, the knees and the ankles should kind of line up with one another. Now come down onto your forearms. Your hips are roughly, they're slightly behind your knees, but you can start with your hips in line with your knees and get as close as you can towards the floor. Now what will intensify this is shifting your hips back into space. And so you can use your forearms to help send your hips back. And the reason that we have this block or a bolster, you could use a pillow, it's going to be more comfortable than a block, but is you can rest your chest on the block. And for those of you ladies that it's not as comfortable to rest your chest on something, you can bring the block lured down so it's more on your rib cage rather than the women parts of the chest. Just find a way to support yourself as you breathe here. This is a very intense posture. Breathe more breath into it. And as you're breathing, oftentimes I'm telling you to breathe into your chest, your belly, your back body. But the greatest refinement of the breath is called prana. And it really doesn't translate as much to breath as it does to life force. And the breath can be sent as you breathe in. Imagine your breath is turning into this energetic thing called prana. And that prana can spread all over your body, from crown to fingers to toes. And so you can breathe this intention into any part of your body, because where the mind goes, the prana will follow. So breathe more breath into the hips, to the inner thighs. Stick with me. We're going to hold for about 4 more cycles of breath. begin to slowly make your way back up onto your hands. And I find it's easier to bring your hips forward here as you bring your knees in. Coming out of it isn't great, and that's okay. And then bring your legs all the way in, maybe even just sit on your heels while you unfold your mat back to neutral. Ground your hips on the mat. Center yourself on your mat, ground your feet. Engage through your navel and come all the way down to your back. As you arrive on your back body, pull your knees in. Give yourself a welcoming squeeze as you find your way to the earth. Take a breath in. And a breath out. Release your legs and release your hands to your Shavasana shape. Let go of your Ujjayi breath. Just let yourself breathe naturally. Sink the weight of your body into the earth. Release tension through the muscles on your face, through your hands, the toes. Drop your tongue down from the roof of the mouth. And take the next few moments to really rest and be in the Shavasana shape.